rise again. To victory! Life or death! Die! How dare you!
Gundam 0083. Tonight at 12:30.
Yeah! It's a Gundam!
Hollywood, the never-ending dumpster fire, with films that leave no lasting impression. Homogeneous in every aspect of design. And before you know it, they're out of the theater and on your overpriced streaming service.
To Wonka's.
Wonka, now streaming exclusively on Max.
Gay. That's why I say Hollywood's dead. Watch anime instead. Do you like Top Gun?
Yes!
What if I told you you could have Top Gun in space
Yes!
with badass robots? Then you'll love Gundam 0083 Stardust Memories, a 13-episode OVA series set in the Gundam universe, the UC universe, the correct universe, the only universe. It was released in Japan back in May 23rd of 1991. For those who don't know, in the 90s, there was only two genders. Musicians had to be able to write and play music, and it was raw, pure, and uncut.
Stop him!
This anime will absolutely blow you away. The animation is the classic before CGI good stuff, when artists put their whole every frame and you could taste it. Mechanical designs were by Soji Kawamori of Macross fame.
And damn, put it in my ass.
And Hajime Katoki. Those in the Gundam model kits know Katoki is the spearhead for the famous Verka MG kits that take master grades to the next level of gimmicks and occasionally over-designing that backfires. And enough decals to drive you clinically insane. I love it.
I like it a lot.
Off the rip, this show was touching greatness, all right? Hajime, you got Shoji designing the badass mechs. It's no wonder when I saw 0083, I spilled my sanity on the floor. The anime centers on Ko Uraki, a 19 or 20-year-old ensign pilot in the military base in Australia. This takes place 3 years after the events of 0079, the original Gundam. There's peace between the Earth Federation forces and Zeon, but it's tenuous, kind of like America and Russia. A female engineer who created the GPO-1 and the GPO-2 by the name of Nina Purpleton. What? A woman in the show before 2018 that was smart and intelligent? Still a little bit annoying, but they really captured the essence of those type of chicks. Long story short, Zeon finds out that the Gundam can fire a nuke, the GPO-2, which nuclear weapons are banned in the peace treaty between, Earth Federation and Zeon. And you know how that goes in reality. Everybody's not supposed to have the nukes, but they do. Gato, the ultimate Zeon Chad, steals the GPO-2 for Operation Stardust and flees to space. Gato is also known as the Nightmare Solomon. He's up there with Char in terms of wrecking shit during the 1 Year War. And you gotta take it on another level. Gato is a normal type, a normal human, and Char has all that new type magic. We're not getting into it because that's a whole other can of beans. It's like the Force, really. But basically, him stealing the Gundam leaves the crew of the Albion with the task of trying to get it back before another great war is sparked. And they've already lost a ton of suits. They've lost some veteran pilots. And in the opening, dude, people just dead. It's over. Already off the rip. You lost some of your best guys. Episode 1. Unlike most iterations of Gundam, this anime doesn't center on kids with psychic powers. The whole new type thing we'll talk about some other time, as I said before. This centers on soldiers and normal people at that, just trying to complete their mission and make it back home alive, which gives Gundam 0083 a different sort of flavor and feel. It's a bit more grounded in reality for a mech show. See, this is one of my favorite Gundam shows, if not number one, because it just hits different. The energy, the excitement, the raw feeling this has versus other Gundam shows where the mechs seem almost supernatural. As much as I love 0093 Char's counterattack, or Unicorn for that matter, I gotta admit, some things were too far-fetched, especially in Unicorn. Then you had Gundam Narrative. God help us, that one was terrible. Hathaway's Flash pulls it back from the space magic of the last film, but since you don't know what I'm talking about, it's all gibberish. I may as well be talking Japanese to you. Basically, having the show center around adults and actual soldiers makes a lot more sense, and I'm just reiterating that. whereas the other Gundam shows had like kids with psychic abilities, once again reiterating. Now, when you look at people in our world with Gen Z and how they handle reality, it really throws a spanner into the idea that kids could save the world.
2.5 hours into my shift, there's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day.
In Gundam 0083, the mobile suits also have a lot more weight to them. They feel like machines of war that need to be handled by skilled pilots to be effective. The only other Gundam show that drives this home is War in the Pocket. That's definitely one of them. And 8th MS Team. That's it. It's like you only get 3 Gundam shows where the mobile suits actually feel like weapons of war. Stardust Memories has gravity to it and layers you only really understand after learning more about the Universal Century timeline. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I have a feeling the new Netflix Gundam show, Requiem for Vengeance, which looks like a cheap CGI cop-out with needless redesigns of classic timeless suits that stink of uninspired modern audience changes and designs. I would urge you to see something that is just a good Gundam show before you see the new stuff on Netflix and tap out, which will most likely happen to a lot of people. To summarize Gundam 0083, it is truly Top Gun in space. And by the end of it, you just really go, yeah, that was great. And you might want to see it again in the future. Something few shows do. For the love of God, don't watch The Witcher Mercury. Terrible.